let's get down to the business at hand, which is how this whole operation took place and why there's a Born to Run 2. And, people have asked me if it's a sequel. And I'm like, it's actually kind of an in-between quill, because it's all the stuff that really would have gone into Born to Run if I'd known it back then. You knew, well, would you say that you knew a lot of this stuff when we spoke in 2004, 2005, or is a good bit of it newish to you?
What I like about coaching is that there's always something to learn, but I've always, to answer your question, back then I had this umbrella philosophy of what my belief of this whole training thing with running. And so I always stuck with that belief in that template, but that always morphs and continues to morph. But it's all based on, what we just talk about in the book of how important cadence is, how important leg stiffness is. And there's just, I like to find new ways to teach it. And I think, you and I've talked about and have had questions about why 13 years? Well, it allowed me to really, I think, hone in on how to coach and teach in this type of environment that resonates with everybody.
You got to run strong to run free.
So what does that mean? It means you have to change the behavior to change the outcome. Most people just keep running the same way and get the same injuries.
And I struggled with hip flexor pain. I struggled with shin splints.
This is probably not working very well. Yep. I'm sure he has super tight hip flexors.
I was in pain a lot of the time.
I can't do this at all on the left leg.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing high knees.
Try to avoid hopping. Land and stick it.
The best part is it's so much easier than you think.
If we can understand how to use our body, especially how to use our feet with run form and strength training, we can take away all the tug and pull that leads to what I call dysfunction. And, you and I talked about that feeling of, what it's like to feel things rather than just be taught something.
Yeah. So maybe it took a couple different filters. One is I'm very resistant to a lot of things. I'm resistant to new ideas and new concepts. I tend to be skeptical, and it takes a long time before it really sort of filters through that very thick, granny head of mine into the point where it penetrates and I believe it. So yeah, absolutely. You've been talking from the beginning that running is not just this thing you do for 45 minutes and then you go about your life. That if you're doing it properly, it's really integrated into your life.